Democratic Senator Mark Kelly has sued the Department of Defense, accusing it of trying to punish him for warning American troops against following illegal orders. The case pits a decorated former Navy pilot against Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and raises explosive questions about free speech, civilian control of the military, and political retaliation. Mark Kelly isn't just a senator. He's a retired Navy captain, a combat pilot, and a veteran with decades of service. Now he's fighting his former command in federal court. On Monday, Kelly filed a lawsuit against the Pentagon, seeking to block disciplinary action initiated by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. At the center of the dispute, a formal censure letter issued last week. Hegseth says Kelly crossed the line by appearing in a video urging U.S. service members to refuse unlawful orders. The Pentagon calls the letter a procedural step, but the consequences could be serious. According to Hegseth, the censure could lead to a demotion from Kelly's retired rank of captain and a cut in his retirement pay. Kelly argues that's not discipline, that's retaliation. Kelly's lawsuit says the threat of punishment is unlawful and unconstitutional, especially when directed at a sitting U.S. senator. And it makes one point clear. This wasn't rogue activism. The video that triggered the censure was recorded in November and featured 6 Democratic lawmakers, all veterans of the armed forces or intelligence community. Their message? Uphold the Constitution and defy illegal orders. Kelly insists that warning troops about unlawful commands is not only legal, it's essential in a democracy. His legal team argues that legislators have heightened protection when speaking on matters of public policy, especially national security. The Pentagon sees it differently. Officials say the message risked undermining military discipline and chain of command. Now the courts will decide. Is this a necessary enforcement of military norms or a dangerous attempt to silence dissent from within the ranks of government?
It wasn't enough for Donald Trump to say I should be hanged, which prompted death threats against me and my family. It wasn't enough for Pete Hegseth to announce a sham investigation on social media. Now they are threatening everything I fought for and served for over 25 years in the U.S. Navy, all because I repeated something every service member is taught. It should send a shiver down the spine of every patriotic American that this president and Secretary of Defense would so corruptly abuse their power to come after me or anyone this way. The United States has the most professional military in the world. What I don't trust is Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, who have already shown they will stop at nothing and corrupt any process to make an example out of me. I will keep doing my job representing Arizona, whether that is voting to stop healthcare premiums from skyrocketing for families, calling out these tariffs that are driving up costs, or standing up against anyone who threatens our Constitution and the rule of law.
The Pentagon is escalating an investigation that has sent shockwaves through Washington. Defense officials now confirm they are intensifying a probe into Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, one of 6 Democratic lawmakers who recorded a video urging U.S. service members to refuse illegal orders. The move has drawn fierce backlash from Democrats who accuse the Trump administration of abusing military power to target political opponents. Last month, the Department of Defense announced it was reviewing whether Kelly, a retired Navy captain, could be recalled to active duty to face possible court-martial proceedings or administrative punishment. Now, that review has been elevated.
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Markkelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command, and that all lawful orders are presumed to be legal by our service members. You can't have a functioning military if there is disorder and chaos within the ranks, and that's what these Democrat members were encouraging. It's very clear, and not a single one of them, since they've been pressed by the media, and I'll give you guys credit for that, can point to a single illegal order that this administration has given down, because it does not exist. They knew what they were doing in this video, and Senator Markkelly and all of them should be held accountable for that.
A Pentagon official told CBS News that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the department's general counsel have authorized a formal command investigation, a serious military inquiry initiated by a commander. The official described the allegations against Kelly as serious, adding that further comment would be limited to preserve the integrity of the process. Now, Kelly fired back swiftly. In a statement late Monday, the senator warned that the investigation should send a shiver down the spine of every patriotic American. He accused President Donald Trump and Hegseth of abusing their authority to intimidate critics. "If they think this will stop me from doing what I've done my entire adult life, fighting for this country, they've got the wrong guy," Kelly said, vowing to continue representing Arizona.
Well, he's never seemed to do much else right. For most of Donald Trump's career, bullying people has worked out for him. But not now. Because I won't let it happen. The American people won't let it happen. President Trump is trying to silence me, threatening to kill me for saying what is true. And he sent his Secretary of Defense after me. And it's not going to work. My family knows the cost of political violence. My wife, Gabby, was shot in the head and nearly died while speaking with her constituents. The president should understand this too. He has been the target of political violence himself. The Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, Melissa Hortman, and her husband were murdered in their home this year. The governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, had his house firebombed this year. Then Charlie Kirk was assassinated at Utah Valley University, a place I visited just a few weeks ago with Republican Senator John Curtis. Faced with a wave like this, every other president we have ever had in the history of this nation would have tried to heal the country. But we all know Donald Trump. And with the consent of Republicans in the United States Senate, he has surrounded himself with people like the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who will do whatever he says with no question, no matter what. Trump and Hegseth, they care more about publicity than they do about the rule of law. That's how I ended up finding out via a tweet that the Secretary of Defense was ordering an investigation into me. The same Secretary of Defense who has, from the moment he was nominated, has been historically unqualified for this position. The same Secretary of Defense who is reported to have ordered a second strike to kill shipwreck survivors in the Caribbean. If there is anyone who needs to answer questions in public and under oath, it is Pete Hegseth. Trying to silence me, in proposing to court-martial me, in threatening to kill me, for fighting back when our democracy demands that we must fight back. President Trump has crossed a line. And this time, it's not going to work. I will not be intimidated by this president. I am not going to be silenced by this president or the people around him, because I've given too much in service to this country to back down to this guy.
Kelly's attorneys also moved aggressively, sending a letter to Navy Secretary John Phelan, arguing there is no legal basis for any disciplinary action. The letter calls the investigation unconstitutional and an extraordinary abuse of power, warning the legal team will pursue all available remedies if the administration proceeds. At the center of the controversy is a video featuring 6 Democratic lawmakers, all former members of the military or intelligence community. In the clip, they tell service members that U.S. law allows them to refuse illegal orders and that they must do so.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
The lawmakers say the message was meant to highlight past statements and actions by President Trump that they believe crossed legal lines, including his past suggestion of killing families of terrorists and threats to deploy troops domestically, some actions that remain legally contested. Legal experts note that service members are expected to refuse manifestly unlawful orders while still obeying lawful commands. The Trump administration insists no illegal orders have ever been issued. President Trump responded by calling the video seditious behavior punishable by death, a remark lawmakers condemned as dangerous. Hegseth argued the video undermines discipline and sows confusion within the ranks. Meanwhile, the 5 other lawmakers involved say the FBI has opened inquiries into them as well. Legal experts say prosecuting any of them would be extraordinarily difficult. As the investigation deepens, the clash raises questions about military authority, free speech, and the line between national security and political retaliation.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
And then last night, the counterterrorism division at the FBI sent a note to the members of Congress saying they are opening what appears to be an inquiry against the 6 of us. To be honest, the president's reaction and the use of the FBI against us is exactly why we made the video. He believes in using the federal government against his perceived adversaries. This is a scare tactic by him. He is attempting to use the FBI to scare us out of continuing to talk and have conferences like this. So it was immediate. The minute I saw the president said they should be hanged, and in effect, I knew that our security situation was going to change precipitously. Obviously, I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my staff. You know, I've served 3 tours in Iraq. I've done dangerous things. I signed up for this, but my family didn't. My nieces and nephews didn't. People disagree with me every single day. Does that mean that I should be investigated by the FBI and that the President of the United States should suggest that I be hung?